Alright, so this is a deck we've played once already. While I don't intend for this to become a best deck stream by any mean, where we're just playing the top decks in Standard constantly, I do expect with my return to Magic that we're going to be doing more repeat decks that I want to work on and tune and optimize, hopefully a little bit more. So as opposed to constantly doing 2 to 3 new decks a day, we're going to have some more repeats in here. So this is one of the decks that we've played so far that felt like it had some legs to it, and I enjoyed playing it. So it's a base green-black deck with some ramp elements. We've got Wolfwillow Haven, Florahedron, Binding, and Solemn to help us get to powerful pieces of top end like Elder Gargaroth, Koma, the Cosmos Serpent, Ugin, and Kogla, the Titan Ape. We've also got Graven Lore here as a small snow payoff, so we are playing 10 snow basics as well as Solemn to search them up. Some Fabled Passages, then some Faceless Havens make snow mana as well. So this card, you know, scrying 2 to 5 on average when we were casting it in the late game felt really good. So let's go ahead and jump on into some games with this and see if this feels reasonable again today. So we're still gonna try some. I'm gonna try and make sure we get at least one new deck every day or every other day or so, depending on how open the format feels. There's a chance that Standard's not quite open enough for. I don't think Magic's formats are open enough to take viewer deck lists constantly anymore. No, Cyanide. At least not to. I could take viewer deck lists constantly, but it would largely result in me just losing lots of matches. And part of what ended up driving me to taking a break from Magic last time was the fact that playing constant viewer decks was not a good game experience. At one point it was, but Magic under Fire Design just doesn't generate good games consistently playing random piles of cards anymore. That's the reality of it. There's still good games to be had here, and I've been enjoying my time back, but playing random viewer decks constantly I think is a good way to get back to a spot where I'm not having a good time. I am taking viewer deck submissions. I'm just not taking them for $10 anymore. So if someone has a deck that they'd really like me to play for a larger donation, for a $50 donation, 50, I will play your deck on stream. But I am not planning to make deck submissions super cheap, so I'm playing them as the only thing I'm playing again. I assume Graven Lore is going to go away here. I guess it depends on what their hand looks like. Really, they're taking Solemn. Okay, deal. This is a great draw. Maybe they have another discard spell to take this one. Okay, so they just don't care if this dies. I am still taking Runeterra deck submissions. There is a good chance I raise the price on those a little bit, though, back up to 25, because with splitting my schedule between Magic and Runeterra, I don't think I can keep up with $10 deck submissions there. So my tentative plans for Runeterra are to do 2 decks a day in that game. I think I'm just going ahead and doing this while they're tapped out, so I get my guaranteed draw 3. Love to bottom 3 lands and hopefully draw some spells. Schmooths, thanks for the follow this morning, by the way. And Big Stan, in case I missed that, I think I did. Thanks for 25 months. It's a long time. Welcome back. So, third chapter on binding for people that haven't been around a whole ton with the new set yet. Just gives things death touch. I like to say the third chapter basically just doesn't exist. You just like look at this card as chapter 1, chapter 2 is the way to approach it for sure. Yeah, so if I do this, this, and this, we can Solemn, and then we can play this and activate Faceless Haven here still. I want to prioritize leaving, forests in my deck because Binding of the Old Gods can only search up forests. Faceless Haven here activates for 3 snow mana and becomes a 4/3 with Vigilance. Yeah, Graven Lore is really good. I like that card a lot. Yeah, I've gotten a few Scry 5s in this deck too. Like it's Scry like 2 to 5 depending on your draw. Usually you get at least 2 with it in this deck, the way the mana is constructed. How's it, Kodal? Thanks for the follow this morning. Welcome to the channel. Creature land, Drunk Owl. Definitely just firing this up again. Alright, opponent's got a whole lot of nothing going on. This is my 1/1 for 2. Your move, Yugi boy. Maybe I'm supposed to crack the Wolfwillow Haven here too. I don't know. I feel like if they have like an Extinction Event, they need to Extinction Event these two. Yeah, I like waiting on this because of the possibility of Extinction Event here. You know, so it kind of feels like my opponent is sitting on some counter spells, so I think we just keep hitting them with this while they obviously can't kill it. Hopefully they die. 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I can actually attack with this and do this. This says Vigilance. Alright, sure. Counter spell me. Holy crap, they're just sitting on nothing. The World Snake is here to embrace you in its arms. The fact that this is 7, it makes even cost tokens, is also nice against Extinction Event decks. Alright, so opponent played some discard spells and then died. You love to see it. Extra Graven Lore here for the control matchup. Extra Koma. Extra Ugin's probably fine. Extinction Events and Wilts don't seem particularly useful. They're probably playing some bigger control bombs, right? Disdainful Stroke sounds good. I actually like trimming some number of Wolfwillow Haven in these matchups. In any of the matchups where you're not just like strict racing, I think you cut some Wolfwillow Havens. I don't know exactly what their makeup of spells is, so I don't think I'm bringing in 4 Disdainful Strokes in the dark. I've got the full 4 in the sideboard for the what's it called matchups? The Yorion matchups. One is playing like Sultai stuff though, so I'm not 100% sure what they've got going on. Yeah, they played a bunch of Cultivates. Is this a playable mid-range deck? I don't know. I think calling our deck calling the deck that I'm currently playing a mid-range deck is a bit of a misnomer. Like our deck is playing double-digit ramp spells, so like I don't know. I saw other people posting decks that looks like people have been calling decks full of ramp spells mid-range decks in Magic for a long time, and I've disagreed with it since I started doing it. It just feels I don't think you can reasonably call like what this archetype is doing mid-range. You call it no, I think this is definitely a control deck. Yeah, it's mid-range in the same way Nissa Who Shakes the World is mid-range. I guess if you wanna go with that. And that's they agonizing remorsed my land, which is cute. Everything is ramp. I don't know that everything is ramp isn't accurate, but this deck that's explicitly playing a bunch of ramp spells is definitely ramp. Alright, let's see if they're able to mana screw me here. Hey, thanks for 13 months, Thorbrand. Yeah, we're on like, what is it, day 4, day 5 of Magic? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, day 5. Been good. Nice. 30 lands in our deck. We get another one here. We'll fetch 2 snow lands and then Graven Lore at the end of their turn here. Even if they counterspell it, we have another Graven Lore for next turn. Yeah, I retired the sub counter. Going back to Magic, especially after the last few days, I don't think it's going to be a problem. Maintaining a full-time income on Twitch, I don't know. Maybe I could leave it up there for the proof of point when people ask why I came back to Magic, that the metrics will go way back up, but we're not going to realistically have trouble clearing 1,500 while doing Magic stuff. I think we just keep all of these, right? I think we do just want all 3. And then normally I wouldn't want to blink here and jam a threat, but I'm gonna have to discard to hand size if I don't play something, so. And I've got Bloodchief's Thirst and Double Binding of the Old Gods to kill anything they play, so if they like kill my thing and play a threat, it's like not a big deal. Hey, Sherwood Archer, thank you for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. Yeah, I don't really know what the opponent's doing. So far, they've played we're like 2 games in and they've just played discard spells and ramp spells, so. Hey, it's good to have you back, Sherwood. Huh. I guess Ugin deals with Koma, huh? Technically. I think we're just like digging for Komas of our own at this point. I guess Turntimber Symbiosis is pretty good. That could technically find us what we're looking for. I do unfortunately have to trade Ugin here because this costs 7, but it's actually one of the reasons why this card is good in these Ugin matchups.
Reality is unwritten.
Yes, the extra mana from Wolfwillow Haven is always just regular green. So honestly, this game's probably a race to the next Kogla the next Koma at this point. Hopefully this'll help us be the winner to that race. Hey, Be Rich, thank you for the 35 months. I appreciate the almost 3 years. Welcome back. This is saw it coming. They are playing counter spells. Okay. So we've bottomed 3 cards, so we're like halfway into our deck now. start with cycling this. Bilbalo, thank you for the 34 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I think I'm okay shuffling those cards in from the bottom to get a land out of my deck here. This also lets me start poking them with Solemn, which is nice. We're down to 3 cards in hand here. Yeah, I mean, Faceless Haven beatdown is like a real plan. This card's been super impressive. I'm playing in a Magic tournament on Saturday, and I don't know exactly what I'm playing, but it's definitely going to involve this card, I think. This card's been in all of the decks that I enjoy. You have murdered my Solemn. Hey, look, a snake. Snake, a snake, oh, it's a snake. Well, I made a terrible mistake and floated not snow mana to start. Mistakes happen. I forgot the seeded snow mana, and now I have to do this because I can't undo the lands I had tapped. Huh. I think I actually Disdainful Stroke this. So I missed 4 points of damage here, technically, with my messed up mana floating, but it is what it is. Notable here, if my opponent ends up winning this game, yeah, I'm gonna want to board my Extinction Events back in. I boarded them out because of... Oh, actually, I probably don't want the Extinction Events. I have 2 Extinctions in my sideboard, is what I'm gonna want to board in. Because they're good answers to Koma. Okay, I'm a little bit light on Koma answers the way I'm sideboarded currently. It's basically, I just Ugin. Alright, so they're dead on board. Yeah, a lot of the control decks, especially with people playing things like Binding of the Old God and Bloodchief Thirst as their answers, have a hard time interacting with Faceless Haven for sure. Thanks for the 35 bucks, Pokemon. Yeah, with tier 3 subs have lost some value. I understand if people downgrade subs because they're not getting deck submissions with it anymore. Yeah, that is understandable. I don't know if I could keep that in the dark on the draw. I'm taking Runeterra deck submissions, Lambton. I'm just not taking Magic deck submissions. I think I have to mulligan this on the draw. I think I need a ramp spell to start. Yeah, this is much better. We're gonna bottom the Cosmos Serpent, I think. I think this is better. These two are better to keep in the dark. Yeah, if you're tier 3ing for Runeterra, I'm gonna keep taking Runeterra deck submissions. Swamp is perfect. So we can Binding of the Old Gods next turn. Forest, Mountain, but no plays to start. We're going to step on my face here. Step on me, daddy, indeed. I think, for the sake of resource efficiency, we just do this. Afternoon Fisherman's. think I'm just playing this in passing. This doles out 1/1 counters, but that's like not really that big of a deal, right? I'd much rather just save my pieces of removal for killing their other things, their permanents that are gonna actually threaten us. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. So I could like play Kogla next turn, or I can Bloodchiefs and Bindings. Yeah, if I destroy the Saga, they can still play the cards that have been exiled by it, is exactly correct. A couple of people were asking about Kogla earlier. Not only does Kogla fight something when he comes into play, but he destroys artifacts and enchantments when he attacks. So it's really, really good against these great henge decks that are running around. Croquis has popularized this Naya variation. And this being able to break their various toys is super valuable. Mono Green Food is also a deck that's still popular from last season. Huh. Oh, wait. This wasn't exiled by this, right? So they can play this later. They're just not taking the guaranteed card draw with this. Seems a little ambitious. Yeah, I think I just take my draw. Grab my second blue source. Opponent's archetype does play Giant Slayer, so we could see this die to that is a potential risk here. Am I a coffee drinker? I am not. I drink iced tea on occasion, but usually do pretty minimal caffeine overall. No energy drinks, no coffee. Short of mana for that feels bad. I guess we kill the Mammoth and Bloodchief the Brushfire. If we draw untapped land next turn, we can drop the Cosmos Snake. Nice. And then this gives us the guaranteed land for the Ugin next turn. Let's get this game over with. Wilt is nice, kills their henge. Ugin cleans up their board, which is nice. Heartless Act kills their cheap Dorkos, which is nice. think Solemn gets outclassed in this matchup a lot of time. Usually in the more aggressive matchups, I trim this Dorko. We just go a little bit slower and hit our land drops and threats a little bit more naturally. What else do I want to get rid of here? I don't think this is a matchup where I can cut Havens. Need 2 trims. I wonder if Gargaroth is not good here. A lot of their board gets pretty big pretty quick, right? So it's kind of hard for this to attack in consistently. Thanks for the 3 years, Zerum. I appreciate that. Welcome back. How's Magic been treating? It's been good. It's our fifth day in, and it's been good. The effect works on block too. Yeah, I guess that's true. I don't know. I feel like just having more Graven Lores to find the really important cards at the top end feels more important. I'm gonna try this and see how it feels. We'll reserve the right to reassess and bring Gargaroth back in later. Yeah, I'm not really intending to play with or against Uro anytime soon, Mr. 3000. I get that people are enjoying Historic, and I'm glad that other people are enjoying Historic, but just like Uro's such a shit stain. Just don't really have a desire to engage with that card ever again. Jamao and Spreading Seeds, thanks for the follows. Welcome to the channel this morning. Well, this hand has colors of mana, I guess. It'll probably be one of those games where we're just like ready for game 3 on the play. Just how they go sometimes. I mean, I expect they'll wake up and ban Uro in all the formats eventually. The cards only existed for a year. It takes Wizards of the Coast a while to respond to things. Yeah, Runeterra will have patch notes tomorrow afternoon. Hoping for big things in that game. Really, I'm gonna rather than getting Leeson and Runeterra, I'd rather just play Magic. Leeson feels like a Magic deck without any of the upside that Magic has. So hopefully that's getting an adjustment tomorrow. This is probably a cycle Wilt turn, looking for a piece of removal. Okay, sweet. So, unfortunately not a piece of removal that lets us stop them from casting Great Henge next turn, but does at least alleviate some pressure off the board. Four Ugins and 71 other cards can win plenty of games. We're taking a chunk for 6 here. Depends on what they have to add to the board this turn. If they have a good play, we're probably dead. Hopefully it's just their draw 4 card. Yeah, there's the Great Henge. And then here's the tough part is that, like, so I can kill this next turn, but I'm still under an incredible amount of pressure. And then here's the other thing about Great Henge, right? Like, it costs them 4 mana, but then it makes 2 mana, so this powerful must-answer effect basically only costs 2 mana. Draw a lot more than 4. No, it's usually just draw 4. Sometimes they bounce it, but like in a matchup like this, them bouncing that card isn't actually that good. Because like as the game goes long, we're fine. Yeah, I don't know that I really want to change how I'm sideboarded here. think I would prefer to just draw some spells that do stuff. Not mulligan to 5, looking for cards to play before turn. We have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We have 14 cards to play on turn 1 and turn 2. I mean, so your question has 2 parts to it there, Empire for Hire. White-red aggro seems very good in this current format, but know that 3-mana Planeswalker is not good. So, yes, the archetype you're asking about is playable in Standard. No, that Planeswalker is not a playable card. We're gonna make a point to play that at some point this week as well. I don't know that we're gonna get to it today, but definitely at some point this week we'll play some white aggro. It's on the list of decks I'm considering playing on Saturday. Stein, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, you splash red back. The playable white weenie aggro deck plays Skulls. Is exactly correct. It is not mono white. It is mono white with red top end. We're just fetching up a island here. Gives us double blue for this. The Stock Boy, thank you for the half a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. For keeping me around. We're probably waiting on this to decide what color I want to commit to with it. Definitely got to kill Innkeeper on site here. This is just like pretty perfect pacing for us. It doesn't really matter what color we play this as at this point, because Binding is going to grab us a Triome next turn. The play versus the draw is just such night and day. I mean, yeah, this card's a great example of just a good design, powerful card. Kill target thing, get me a land. Sounds lovely. Yeah, Chef Seth, I'd heavily encourage you to just like unplug and not read anything in the Magic community outside of Twitch chats that you're participating in. Always going to be a lot of endless complaining. That's very frustrating and often unhealthy to watch and engage in. I see how it is. I see the Prime. Thanks for the Beza bucks. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I think we want to just murder the Innkeeper. It could be right to Graven Lore here. If I Graven Lore, I get to Koma next turn. I'm only taking a little bit of a hit here. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna pass with the Graven Lore up. Okay. Extinction Event would be really good. You're not wrong. Huh. Did I just keep all of these? Yeah, I want 2 more lands, and Wilt sounds good. Yeah, I mean, I definitely just want to snake into Ugin, right? Yeah, needed to fade Giant Killer for a turn. That's fine. It means they can't advance their board this turn. Hey, Cardboard Tech, thanks for the 16 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. For keeping me around. Opponent's archetype doesn't usually play Questing Beast. It is a beautiful Ugin art, you're not wrong. I think Ugin usually beats Scalds, especially with these Wilts to like be able to cut off hedge card advantage and be able to deal with other things. I chumped the beast instead of killing the giant because my 3/3 was going to get exiled by Ugin. Yeah.
Consider this a warning.
How much snow do we get in the cornfields? We didn't end up getting a lot. We got more rain than snow down here.
Every creature deserves life, and I will protect them. I'd like you to meet my friend. Stop.
Oh, I forgot I was going to exile my Haven there. That's fine.
Are too dangerous to roam free.
New York is getting dumped on. A buddy of mine said they got a foot already. Yikes. Stay safe out there, folks. Morning, Sean. Thanks for the 27 months. Howdy, howdy. Man, how much card advantage is this deck playing? It's just like, it's playing Ox, it's playing Henge, it's playing Scalds.
I no longer wish to stay.
They're dead, right? Yeah, it looks like a variation of the Night Adventures deck. If we kill them, we don't get to Graven Lore. That's true. That's very, very true. Yeah, stats for killing my snake opponent. Honestly, After seeing how Giant Killer plays out, I should probably board Snake out in that matchup. It's probably a card I don't want there. Kogla at least fights things when it comes into play. Huh? Need to draw black swords. Yeah, getting to platinum is pretty trivial. In the ranks under platinum, you win twice as many points as you lose when you play games, so it tends to be very easy to make it to platinum. Platinum is the point where, when do you want a third snake in the control matchups? People that have counter spells. People that have, destroy removal that's largely not instant speed. Yeah, Stiggy, so they can chop down in response, but you can sequence in a way that denies them the ability to respond to it. Whereas with the snake, they're always going to have that opportunity where they untap, and then on their upkeep can have instant speed removal. Kogla also has the upside of being able to kill their artifacts and enchantments, which is... Did we just, like, drop a Kogla on turn 4? I could just fire up Faceless Haven. What does Faceless Haven die to? It's, like, exactly, Heartless Act. I'd rather just smack them with this. Oh no, they have Stone Range yet. This is the part where we never draw another land and die, and I deserve it. This is the matchup we have 4 Disdainful Strokes in the sideboard for. Just like 4 color greed. This is the part where we can concede when we miss a black source again here. Well, the shuffler wants us to keep playing, so we shall. Yeah, not so quick. I would much rather have you kill that than kill my Wolfwillow Haven, so God bless. I think with double Extinction Event, we're just exiling both of these. Okay, now we're Titan Aping. Crunch. To put in 4 colors, they're just Jund actually, right? They're probably just playing these because Jund doesn't have a Triome. I would assume. Is what, an even mana cost, Sociopenguin? Yeah, Mass Vandal's a sweet design. For sure. So this is a second swamp. This is a second blue. If they don't kill this, we're gonna have Ugin mana. Just conceding, sure. So Ugin seems kind of awkward against them. I think I'd rather have Koma. Wilt doesn't seem particularly exciting. These Disdainful Strokes seem super reasonable. We've got stuff like Elder Gargaroth and things like that. Do I want these Extinction Events? I guess it was kind of okay. Maybe I don't want the full grip of Strokes. Trim a piece of ramp. They're kind of mid-rangey. Would I rather have Extinction Event or Bloodchief's Thirst? If most of the things you're going to be killing with Bloodchief's Thirst, it's going to cost 4. Extinction Event is just better, right? It's instant speed. Ooze could shut off the Vandals and the Snake Priest Lady. I don't know what's Snake Priest Lady. I don't know what card you're referring to that I would care about that goes by that title. They were all even except for Gargaroth, right? They had Bone Crusher Giant too. Yeah, this hand's great. Spell into Binding, sign me up. I guess I technically need to draw an untapped land to have that. Got 3 draws here at it though. Perfect. Never didn't have it. Our deck's actually not playing that many tapped lands. We only have 2 Passage and 4 Triome. We got a lot of basics in our deck. Yeah, Graven. Graven is easily one of our best cards to match up like this. Being able to scry that much and gas up's a big deal. That's super unfortunate. Okay, and I boarded my Ugins out. Okay, if we lose this game, Ugins are coming back in for this. That's very unlikely that this is going to be a creature, chat. For people that are mentioning Eat to Extinction. So, it's important that I kill their threat right away here, so that way, because I can't afford to take hits and use my life total as a resource with this bearing down on me, as much as I would like to do this ASAP. Spartan! Thank you for the 2 entire years. I really appreciate that. Very generous tier 3. Welcome back. Good morning. You got me. Oh, you're killing that. That's fine. That's emptying their graveyard too? Yeah, that's I'd much rather have my Haven go away than my Binding. Like, my Binding's gonna turn into a permanent land, friendo. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So definitely just Graven Loring here. We're going to Graven Lore Scry 4. This is blue and this will fetch blue. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 snowlands. That's my face. I hear it's a place. Well, I mean, I think there was a chance we could die to Klothys, but I agree that they were super far behind there. Remember, chat, Magic tends to have a good bit of garbage time, so, like, we weren't going to kill them for a while, but they were super far behind that game. I think Scry 2 has roughly the same value as Draw 1. I think they're just different. I think Magic players and card game players in general too often try to make rough associations like that just aren't reasonable. To give you a clean-cut example of what I mean, asking yourself the question, Jeff, is this Scry 1 worth drawing a card? You have to ask yourself the question, well, how many blanks are in your deck? So, like, for example, a Scry is worth less when you need all types of cards. So, like, when I'm looking for specific spells, but I also need lands, a Scry is worth less. However, like, on turn, like, 12, when I have my mana developed, a Scry is worth significantly more. Because at that point, I don't need more lands. I think I just play this tapped on one here. Just, like, take my guaranteed mana. If they're anything mid-range you're controlling, I don't really want to play this out and risk it getting killed. And I get where you're coming from. The way you phrase that question is something that I've heard it phrased like that constantly, and it's something that's always bothered me. Yeah, it's based on circumstance and what you're needing. Like too often, again, people are like, oh, I want to make this statement, and I want this statement to always be true, and it's just like, well, that's not how it works, right? Like, context is key. It's super important. Probably Abzan Doom Foretold on the other side here. Graven Lore is going to be excellent, he says before drawing a second. So we'll fetch Forest, fetch Island, scry 3, draw 3. And I mean, to be fair, like, saying, no, you have to have context for this, like, it isn't pithy, right? It doesn't fit into a soundbite. It doesn't fit into the, oh, it doesn't fit into this idea that, like, oh, this, like, quick and easy to digest type thing. Which makes it a lot less exciting. There's a good chance this dies before it does anything, but we're gonna have to discard, so when we made the Graven Lore play, we were committing to doing this. And, like, if they Doom Foretold here, like they're known to do, we get to just go ahead and Binding of the Old Gods to kill this immediately after. It's, like, not a big deal. Alright, so I have green, green, green. I have blue, blue, blue. I think I really need I think I'd rather have 4th blue than 4th green. Do we get a snow forest? Yeah, probably. I have all of my colors at this point. Also, once you've developed all of your mana like this, it's more valuable to get your basic forest rather than getting your, what's it called? Because, you want to have Triomes left in your deck, because Triomes cycle, and you can't cycle basic forests. In consideration, hit the egg, so I have to sack the Doom there. No, if they flash in, the opponent's archetype plays flash permanents, so if they flash in response, like, the egg doesn't have a ton of value, and if they have the punish for it, I end up really far behind. I don't think the small upside of killing a golden egg is worth the potential downside of them keeping Doom Foretold around. Yeah, the omens are the card that they play that have omens that flash, yeah. Alright, so I get 7 looks at a binding for their Doom Foretold here. Tilt. Inhuman Rabbit. I am having a good start to my week. Thank you for the 15 months and for the tier 3 at that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yes, those were 7 very not great cards. It's fine. Faceless. We found a Faceless Haven on the in-between. This card's very good. Hey, Gnome. Thank you for the 26 months. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Hope you had a good stream yesterday after the host. Morning, Garboid. Yeah, I'm planning to make Magic a regular part of my schedule again. So expect to see Magic stuff daily here on this channel again moving forward. Zero is even for the purposes of tokens. That is correct. Pretty fortunate this game. I know we got a little unlucky with the Scries not finding exactly what we were looking for early, but like Graven Lore is definitely one of our better... Wow, that's unfortunate. Wow, that's brutal. Okay, well. I've got one more Extinction Event. They're trying to figure out the interface to make this a 7/7, I assume. We have an Extinction Event and 2 Ugins that can unlock this. Wait, what? I'm so confused. I mean, yeah, we take those. So we definitely just go Koma into Tangled Florahedron here, right? And this can insulate us against the Doom Foretold for a turn. Okay. Blunderbra, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel today. Was this a good draw? If so, why? Please explain. Or did I miss an attack for 4? I missed an attack for 4. Oh, you know what? I should play this in case they have another I guess Doom Foretold would mean it would. I'd sack this, right?
My reset.
It's not good because I got to keep the egg. Yeah, probably should have played that out because of their discard spells. This is actually a really good draw, right? Am I short mana on being able to double activate? I am, right? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 snow mana only, snow basics. What's that symbol on their creature? Party. It's not really a constructed playable mechanic in general. Yorion's really good here. Probably need to draw another Ugin. And I only have one more of those, unfortunately. I have 6. I have 6 cards at the bottom, so we have 1 Ugin and 26 cards. I also have, in addition to 1 Ugin and 26 cards, I also have 1 more Graven Lore. I got some more Elder Gargaroths as well. B. Williams, thank you for the 23 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. So opponent gets to gas up and draw a bunch of cards here. This is the matchup we have a bunch of Disdainful Strokes in the sideboard for reference. Being able to counter Yorions and Bindings and Doom Foretold is very good. Yeah, they're just playing 60 cards with Yorion in the 60, is correct. Wait, that can't be right. Are they playing 80 cards and forgot to set the companion? This says 42 cards in their deck, right? Yeah, I think they actually just oopsed. Looking at their deck size, I think they actually just oopsed. I'm gonna decline searching with this because there are six cards I don't want to draw on the bottom of my deck from Graven Lores. Which I think getting a basic is worse than because they definitely didn't have a companion. I assume they'll have a companion for the post-board games. Yeah, firing up both Havens isn't useful, though, in this instance. Firing up both Havens does not allow me to win this game. The answer to how do I win this game is I find Ugin or I find Graven Lore, and I find Ugin. Gargaroth is okay. There's a strong chance that Gargaroth dies inside of combat. Or Gargaroth dies to a removal spell, I mean. They want a triple block here. That's fine with us. I can't activate both of these anyways. I'm through both my snakes, right? There's a Koma, yeah. Welcome back, Sean. Oh, right. I was gonna have to discard to this. I should have played that out. I mean, if we find our Ugin here still, we're still in this game, right? So I've got 2 live draws. I've how many land? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh god. So because I didn't play this tapped and I forgot we were discarding it, I actually can't Graven Lore into Ugin. Yeah, this game is totally winnable. Kogla's a live draw here too, like. Faceless Haven punching the clock and going to work. It's honestly very possible that I just want to go up a land and play a 3rd Faceless Haven in this deck. Card's real good. Oh man, these greed piles. Listen, chat, we've got 4 Disdainful Strokes in the sideboard. There are four Disdainful Strokes in the sideboard. And then we're actually dead here, right? Because this is going to, this is going to deal 2 to us. We take 3 inside of combat. This match could reasonably go to time, so I'm going to make my opponent kill us. Take your game actions. Yeah, in best of 3, there's a round timer to Candio. I'm too lazy for best of 3. You have to play best of 3 if you want to play decks like this. You need the ability to be able to sideboard against stuff like what the opponent's doing. Otherwise, you're not gonna have a chance. Pretty clean, easy in, easy out. Scavenging Ooze is actually probably good here. Yeah, probably Scavenging Ooze for Graveyard 8's probably fine. They have Elspeth Conquers Death as well. Maybe I don't bring in all 3 of them. What's our last cut here? Pretty sure I don't want any of these cards. Again, for people just joining us, you basically always cut Wolfwillow Haven in this deck against control decks. Yeah, I think two skews is fine. There aren't that many creatures in this matchup in general. Sure. Playing this out proactively kind of sucks against Elspeth's Nightmare, but outside of that, it's pretty reasonable. Charming Prince, that's cute. Yeah, and there's the Yorion Companion. So they started last game at a disadvantage because they forgot to slot their companion in. It's Magic Arena things. Again, they can fix that during sideboarding though. Yeah, it's probably wrong to play that out like I did. Can we go ahead and get rid of this? Otherwise it's going to take a spell out of our hand. your 2/1. No, Scamos, they have an 80 card deck. It's definitely just a user interface error. There's not some big brain trying to hide information. They just messed up. But sometimes you can speculate that the opponent might have made a mistake. This is not one of those instances. This is green land, right? Yeah. And then this Disdainful Stroke is staring them right in the face. They need Heartless Act here, Conquers Death, and Binding of the Old Gods don't do it. Okay. If we get to start drawing cards with this, we should put the game away pretty quickly. Sweet. To be fair, most people haven't played Paper Magic with companions. Especially not competitively. So, as always, context is key. So a big part of what makes the World Serpent reasonably playable in this format, in my opinion, is the fact that if you look at what the control and interactive decks are doing, a lot of their hard removal is largely, sorcery speed, which means you generally speaking get, get a Serpent out of it, which means it then becomes hard to kill. Yorian's a playable Serpent, but no, outside of Yorian, there really aren't other playable Serpents. Alright, so we're going to start holding a land in our hand for things like Acquisitions Expert. Ha! We're about to get got here? We're about to get got here, huh? That's unfortunate. Well, I've got to draw 2 cards. Alright, 4 Graven Lore, 3 Koma, 3 Ugin, 2 more Elder Gargaroth. A lot of good draws here. I assume they're just going to start heading to the Space Jam here momentarily. Yeah, they need to just, like, get through my strokes. They know about the first one. Honestly, opponent had enough blockers in play last turn that I probably should have fired up Faceless Haven in the event that they did what they did. Well, I mean, all things considered, like I said, the opponent's archetype is exactly the reason there are 4 copies of Disdainful Stroke in my sideboard. I think these matchups are hard for us, especially game 1, but this is easily the best card in this matchup. Faceless Haven continuing to look excellent. I think I'm happy with how I sideboarded. I don't know, maybe these Extinction Events are better than these Scavenging Oozes. Maybe I just don't play the Scoos on 2, even if we have it on 2, is probably better. Yeah, I think I'm happy with how I boarded. I was going to make a point not to play this into Conquer Elspeth. Elspeth's Nightmare. Needs to draw some lands, but we're on the draw. Deck submissions are $50, 50. Which essentially means there's very few deck submissions, which is the intention of putting them at that price. Sweet. Would love to draw an untapped blue source this turn. Hoping to dodge Doom Foretold. Alright, well, I mean, that means we don't have to discard the hand sides if we miss a land drop, glass half full. Where am I getting them? A mix of looking at deck lists from other places, as well as building them myself. Hey, Hunter. Thanks for the sub gifts. I appreciate that. You're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. I mean, I kept a 2-lander on the draw. Missing a couple lands is like not to be unexpected. Statistically speaking, what happened to us this game isn't that unreasonable. Even another Heartless Act here to kill Scavenging Ooze. You. Hey, well, welcome back, Breen. Thanks for the support. Thanks, good. Good to be back. I think I let this happen and then just hope to draw an untapped land next turn so I can binding this. So I assume they're going to play something else out here that's great, and then I'm going to lose because of that, but... So, unfortunately, this game, the only meaningful decision we really made this game was what hand we kept. And I think I was fine keeping the hand that we kept. Sometimes you're going to take shots and miss. Like, we kept a 2-lander on the draw in my deck that has effectively 30 lands in it. Just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. So... our Disdainful Stroke plan feels like it's meaningful in that matchup, but again, that's why you can't focus on your actual record with decks. You gotta think about the context of the game, so I think our matchup is bad there, game 1 as expected, and then post-board we get to bring in 4 Disdainful Strokes in a very, very, very reasonable matchup. Honestly, could see even going further than 4 Disdainful Strokes. It's possible that, like, the Scavenging Oozes that we have on the board aren't 100% necessary, or something else in here isn't 100% necessary, and, like, I would rather have some Negates, for example. I mean, we would have lost with that line too, Kenix, because if I have to hold up Stroke for the ultimatum the following turn, I then don't have the ability to kill their 6/6. I'm not going to main deck Disdainful Stroke. I think Disdainful Stroke is main deckable in the right shell. I don't think it's main deckable in this one. I think main decking Disdainful Stroke would hurt too many of our other matchups. I want to fit some Negates in here. Maybe I don't need 3 Wilt, especially with 2 in the main deck. I've got Binding and Ugin and stuff too. Now, I think the point that was made in chat, Stormy Waters right above you, that Scooze is important against the Croxa decks, is reasonable and relevant. I think I'd like to keep 3 Scoozes until we get to play against those. So, I did mention Scooze, and then someone made a good discussion point right above your head. Two lands on the play is a little scary, but we have a cycle here. And again, game 1, I actually have 34 mana sources. In that last match, when I said I only had 30, that was because I had boarded 4 mana sources out. So naturally, the 34 mana sources and taking 2 extra draws we missed here. What's our, actually, let's mathematically take a look at this. So if I have 53 and I have 32 hits, and I'm looking at 3 cards and I want 1, we're 95% to hit a land. We're 98% to hit a land by this turn, where I'm currently discarding. This game that we're currently experiencing happens 2% of the time. This is another matchup where having Negates in our sideboard will be good. Definitely not an Ugin matchup. Probably not Extinction Event. Eat to Extinction's probably better than Bloodchief's Thirst. I think Ramp of Our Own sounds reasonable here. The rest of this seems mostly fine. Oh, Wilt's probably not very useful, huh? They're an ultimatum deck. Bring in a Heartless Act as an extra piece of spot removal for the random giants. Another 2-lander. I guess it's a 3-lander, technically. It's like missing colors, though. This is fine. Not amazing, but fine. Honestly, this is probably a matchup where I'd prefer to just play this as land, as opposed to playing it out and getting it stomped. Gonna prioritize putting snowlands into play from here on out, so that way we can maximize Graven Lore when we get to it. So grab us an island. I think at least one of these is turning into a land. Hopefully they just Beanstalk Giant next turn, and then that gives us a window to Graven Lore to dig for a binding to kill it. Because if they Beanstalk Giant, that taps them out, we can Graven Lore, and then if we hit binding, we can bind the giant, and then hold up Stroke still. Hey, Fedged. Thanks. Thanks for keeping me around. I think we full bottom here. I think when we don't stroke this, we commit to digging for the removal spell. Nailed it. I think this is a land at this point. That could have been wrong, honestly. I think at this point, if I draw Triomes, my Triomes are going to be... cycled, so we're searching up Basic Forest with this. I'd rather draw a Triome and cycle it than draw Basic Forest, so... Early game, this usually gets you a Triome. Late game, this gets Basic Forest. Yeah, I don't think I'll have a problem maintaining the 1,500 subs per month I need to do content full-time with Magic. So, I only put that on stream when we moved to doing all Runeterra stuff because it was going to be in danger of not happening, but... And like here, they have to, and honestly, one of the upsides of this thing costing 7 is the fact that it's in the format with Ugin. So like, yeah, they can Ugin here, but like they're trading Ugin for my World Snake, right? So like, this is technically a tempo positive exchange for us.
All creation can be
Is the way to think about it. Do we just Elder Gargaroth here? If we just Elder Gargaroth here. Means I have to play the Symbiosis, but it could have been right to keep this land to guaranteed. Deal. Is it a 6/6 for 5 that draws cards by attacking? Yeah, it draws cards, it gains you life, or it creates 3/3s. It slices, it dices, it gives you a set of steak knives if you need them. Yeah, Graven Lore is really good. That's true. It doesn't have haste, it's barely playable. Yes, and the other thing too is like if you look at this card and think, wow, that's incredible. This card wasn't constructed playable until they banned a bunch of stuff. just like context is key, things to think about. This was unplayable until they banned a number of things. I like this deck a lot. This is our second time playing this deck, by the way. If you haven't seen this before, that means you haven't checked out my lovely YouTube channel with lots of different things we've been playing since I've been back. We're mulliganing this here, missing Colors of Mana, unfortunately. This is also missing Colors of Mana. This is technically fixing. So this gets any forest card out of our library, which includes our Triome. So while this hand technically needs another blue source, it has a first blue source here. Something to consider. I need triple green eventually. I don't need double black. My only double black card is Bloodchief Thirst, and I boarded that out in this matchup. Yeah, snow mana is the Astro symbol. Someone asked me my favorite color combination. Usually black X, black green, black red are probably my two favorites. I don't know if I have a specific one between those two. I forgot to board in answers to the World Snake. Oh, I have Eat to Extinction technically, huh? Okay, I have two Eats in my deck. This could be a reason to leave this could be a reason to leave we did bottom one earlier, yeah. Yeah, that's gonna kill us here after we stumbled, so. Again, like, focusing on the details, we mulligan to 5 again. A lot of our losses have involved mulligans to 5, so. If that was a game where we get to keep that hand on 6 or even on 7 or even 6 cards, we have an Eat to Extinction and get to exile that snake. And it's just like not a problem. The World Snake is super reasonable. Is there a way where we can reduce the number of times where we're mulliganing? Being luckier is a good way to reduce the number of times you mulligan in Magic. I mean, like, a lot of our mulligans have just been, like, stuff like this, where we just, like, don't have colors of mana. I guess we could theoretically play more duels, but that'll lose you games in other spots. And then there's hands like this, right? Where, like, my deck has effectively 34 lands in it. I've got 1 land and 7 cards here. So, like, that first mulligan we took here could be changed potentially through deck building, and that's something we should potentially consider. Like, do I need to change the color? Do I need to change the composition of my mana base to include different colors? But, like, that second hand, there's not much you can do about that. Oh, I didn't pay attention that they're a Yorion deck. Nivik! 37 months is a while. Welcome back. I'll play the Faceless Haven here rather than committing to my pathway just yet. Have they fixed Standard or Arena? I mean, Arena was never strictly broken. It still leaks memory, but it's functional. And they just released a new set. And also, something I talked about this a little bit over the weekend too, but part of my break from Magic wasn't just related to the client and the gameplay. It was also related to, like, community interactions as a whole. And, like, something I talked about over the weekend is I'm going to make a point not to talk about or discuss or advocate for changes as they relate to Magic's monetization and Arena, how it's set up in terms of how you get cards and stuff like that anymore. I think a lot of the discourse surrounding those topics is incredibly toxic and frustrating, and it brought a lot of negativity into my life. And 2020 was a shit-tastic year for a variety of reasons, and getting a bunch of added included negativity in my workplace and in a game that's supposed to be fun on top of all of the very real issues. Like, I'd much rather spend my energy being upset and trying to change things that, like, actually meaningfully affect people's lives, as opposed to this luxury hobby that's just, like, completely optional. Like, Magic being expensive and inaccessible doesn't really reduce anybody's quality of life. There's plenty of other hobbies out there that are more accessible and cheaper. No one's dying because they can't play Magic the Gathering, despite what you hear from some of the community. feel like we're gonna have to get incredibly lucky to win this game from here. Not only did we mulligan to 5, but we've now drawn like 2 cards that are basically blanks in this matchup. So like if they untap here and play Doom Foretold, I'm probably just gonna concede and go to the post-board game. Okay, no removal spell here is huge. No removal spell here means this Gargaroth could potentially unmulligan us. I mean, for reference, if people aren't gonna like playing with or watching people play against Yorion decks, you probably shouldn't watch Standard. Like, this is gonna be a part of Standard. So I think at this point, I'm actually supposed to Binding, because Binding not only gets me another blue source in case I draw a Graven Lore, but this will insulate me against, this will insulate me against, against a Doom Foretold next turn, which is nice. Is this going to be another ramp into Ugin deck? The opponent's archetype usually isn't an Ugin deck, no. Our deck is a ramp into Ugin deck, though. We've got 3 Ugins in our 75. We're not like a fully linear deck, but we're pretty rampy. One giant monster, please. I mean, that qualifies. Wasn't either of the ones I was actually looking for, but it's better than bricking. They're playing Path into the World Tree because they're a Doom Foretold deck. So Doom Foretold wants their deck to have lots of permanents in play that they can sacrifice to Doom Foretold every single turn. So this is effectively a 2-mana card that draws them a card. It's also a permanent card that while it draws a land, instead of drawing any card, it does get value while blinking with Yorion as well. I'm gonna go ahead and Extinction Event this Yorion, so that way they can't block with it. Not only does them not blocking with it allow me to hit them for damage, but it also means they can't Omen of the Dead it back afterwards, so that's nice. Kogla gets to break some of their toys. And I think I'm again just playing this out, so that way my opponent can't generate value with the Doom Foretold here. So that way, if they play Doom Foretold, I get to sacrifice Binding instead of my Kogla. They are an Ugin deck in their deck full of permanents. Alright, snow mana. If we get a snow mana, we can kill this with the Faceless Haven. Alright, I guess we kick this.
I no longer wish to stay.
So again, not only did we mulligan this game, but like all these Bloodchief Thirsts and stuff are cards we just like don't really want in our deck in a matchup like this, so... There's our... We drew a lot of cards that sideboard out in this matchup, in addition to, an island. They are full color, okay. Ugin's like, not a big deal, because we have more Bloodchief Thirst, I suppose.
Not ignore my draconic talents.
I mean, outside of playing, what's it called? The 2-mana enchantment. The Path to the World tree, it's pretty stock, right? Just like Yorion and things Yorion blinks for value. They could be Abzan and have one basic island and one basic mountain to activate World Tree on occasion. Could be the case as well. Since they're playing an 80 card deck anyways. Nope, doesn't look like they have a basic mountain. Hey, Rain Spider, thank you for the 27 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Is this last card a removal spell? I'm gonna go ahead and kill Charming Prince here so they stop blinking Yorion around. Snake, a snake, oh, it's a snake. Alright, I mean, if we find a Graven Lore, we're in this game. I got a block here, unfortunately. Much as I don't want them to draw, if they find a Doom Foretold, we're in a lot of trouble. I think I can just take these hits. Need to get a little lucky here. I guess this is bad, right? They have Crawling Barons up here. I can't even attack in, right? They have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they could double activate this. We can diddle it, that's true. I don't know that I really want to give up a snake to diddle it though. I can definitely attack with Koma. The question is, am I attacking with the rest and sacking a 3/3 to tap their Crawling Barons? I think so. I think I just have to hope they don't hit with this and just get a little bit lucky. really weird they didn't scry there. They must have drawn something good. They must have drawn something useful if they didn't scry, right? Yeah. Ironclad. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Thanks for keeping me around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they can attack with this as a 6/6. I think I just let this happen. So they're dead to a removal spell? No, that's not true. This is only 4. Not quite. The format's been reasonable, Ironclad. Could I have tapped in a way that left me mana to activate this? I could have, and the auto tapper did not. I cannot activate both lands, and the way the auto tapper just went there, I can't activate this at all right now, which is a pretty big mistake. So needed to tap these Triomes and leave this Faceless untapped. None of these were snow mana. I can't imagine managing board states like this on a cell phone. Just does not seem tenable. I'm really impressed that we're in this game as much as we are, considering we mulliganed to 5, drew a bunch of bad cards, and, like, haven't seen any of our draw 3s. Two cards into our deck. Thanks for the 26 months, Azumail. I appreciate the prime. Welcome back. When it loses 2 life, pet torture deals 2 damage to one target creature, you create a 2/2 bear token. Oh, it makes me lose life too? I guess it's all 5 colors, huh? How many cards do they draw? You draw 2 cards? I don't know that we're beating that one. They don't have a mountain, but they have eggs in order to activate this. That makes sense. And get back in Ugin with this next turn. Oh. Sure. I was expecting them to blink this and exile my Gargaroth, but they're gonna give me extra draws. Not that it looks like our draws matter. If this was a serious competitive game, I would make them kill us, because they're clearly going to be at risk of timing out in a match that goes all the way to time, but in this game where I'm living in reality, that is not worth my time to do. They're almost assuredly a Doom Foretold deck. There's no way they'd play all those kind of mediocre cards and not be a Doom Foretold deck. It's an Eat to Extinction matchup. Eat might be better than Scavenging Ooze here, actually. This card turning on miscellaneous removal without generating value seems kind of loose. Bring in all of our counter spells. Sure. I think this is a Florahedron tapped game as a land. This isn't really a go fast matchup. Just want to like take our time and hit our land drops. Or hold on to Turntimber Symbiosis for now. There's a good chance that's going to end up being a spell. Just doing this to spend my mana for the turn. Killing this has value, making their Yorians worse later. Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of lands, but our lands are going to do stuff too, so that's nice. Are they 5-color Sky Noodle? They're technically Abzan with like a weird splash for... with a splash for the World Tree. They have, like, an island, and then they can activate this off of, they can activate this off of their egg. But they're mostly just Abzan Doom. Koma is not amazing in these Conqueror's Death matchups, obviously, but it's been reasonable in general, very good at closing out against the creature decks. Okay. That bodes well for the home team, and their deck is 80 cards, so... Yeah, maybe it was right to offer the trade. I don't know, I think they probably would have traded there. I wanted to give them the least possible. No, I don't think it's right to offer the trade there because I didn't want them to have the Conqueror's Death for Koma. So like now at this point, if they draw Conqueror's Death, I have enough pressure that that's fine. But the previous turn, giving them an extra draw at their removal for this, I think is very incorrect. Might as well tap them off their land. Yeah, not treating is also better against Doom Foretold, is accurate. We're unfortunately short 1 snow mana here of being able to double activate these Faceless, which sucks. Well, not only are we flooded, but we're explicitly flooded on the wrong kind of lands. Feels bad, man. Alright, Ugin trades. They are dead. Dead to a snow mana.
You are too dangerous to roam free.
And again, just like, as always, don't focus on the record, focus on the details, like, the details of this game, man. There's like so many opportunities for things to break slightly better for us. We're not out of it yet, but I guess the fact that this is a snow mana means that we can double Faceless next turn, so that could drag us across the finish line depending on what they have here. Yeah, I like the Sultai deck a lot. This is definitely in contention for one of the decks I'm considering playing on Saturday. We're probably going to play this a couple more times this week. What's on Saturday? I invited to play in a Magic tournament. Oh, I should make a command for that, because that's it's an open entry thing that other people can play into. There's a $20 entry fee. Here is it. Yeah, JD Green is hosting it. Yeah, feel free to post decks in the subs Discord, Socio. I'm not looking at things like midstream unless I'm looking for something to play. I've got decks that I'm interested in playing today on stream already, but for stuff later in this week, perhaps. We look pretty dead because we are pretty dead. I guess I theoretically could have, like, hung out and drawn towards Ugin, but they had the food in play, right? The food lets them gain 3. So, had a number of live draws that game, just didn't work out. Sometimes you flood and die. No, I don't really think Vornclick solves problems that this deck has. I think outside of wanting to play explicitly Vornclicks, that doesn't sound very good, Gengar. Sounds far more cute than good. I think Snow's been interesting. I think Foretell's kind of bland and uninteresting. I don't really think Foretell has like a meaningful impact on constructed play. Like a lot of the cards that have Foretell, you aren't really playing them because they foretell, and there's some small corner cases where it's optimal to foretell them as opposed to not, but they're more like this just happens to be okay as opposed to like the reason that you're playing them. If that makes sense. Okay, so if they don't kill the Florahedron here, we get to go Faceless into Kogla next turn. Yeah, the Foretell really feels like I haven't been a huge fan of Magic's move to not having blocks. I really kind of dislike how Magic's just everything is one set now. It feels like they don't have enough opportunity with everything being just one set to explore mechanics. Like, I would have loved more mutate cards. I know Eldraine missed on power level a lot, but like, I liked adventures and I would have liked to see a wider range of adventure cards, stuff like that. Why did we attack with this? Oh, they can make it bigger, right? Base power is equal to 1 plus the greatest power among other creatures you control. So they can make this a 6. Right? They can make this a 6. So I'm gonna say no blocks. If I block these trade, right? Am I okay with that? I'm pretty sure its base power becomes 5, and then it gets 1, or does it become 7? Yeah, do I want to go to 1 is the question. If I go to 1, this can kill the banner. I'm probably supposed to not leave myself dead to burn spells. I think it becomes 6, is my understanding. It does become 7. Okay, my understanding is wrong. Good to know. Do I Bloodchiefs this, or do I Binding this? Do I think I need to kill Banner? Probably not. You probably just kill their creatures as opposed to their Banner, huh? Symbiosis, even with sacking this, can get cast next turn off the Florahedron. Why not cast Turntimber? Because I didn't have enough mana to. It cost 7 mana and I only had 6. Pretty sure we gained 2 here. Want to not be dead to Bone Crusher Giant, ideally. Alright, am I dead? This card isn't lethal. This gains us 3. Ugin's probably slow here. Not a huge fan of Solemn on the draw against aggro. Graven Lore isn't usually an effect we need. We can bring in Eat to Extinction to kill some of their larger threats. Yeah, I think I like this. Protopunk, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel this morning. Well, so the reason why Wolfwillow Haven is much better than Glittering Frost is because Wolfwillow Haven costs 2, so Wolfwillow Haven and Florahedron both allow us to play Binding on 3, which is important. While we have some 5 mana spells in our deck, getting to 4 mana spells on 3 is way more important than getting to 5 mana spells on 4. Oh, I actually don't have That's awkward. Thought this made black. This is our we have 6 pathways in our deck, and this is the only one that doesn't make black. I might want one more pathway in the deck. We've definitely felt a little bit light on black source. A lot of our mulligans today have been related to not having the right colors of mana. Yeah, so I gotta do this. And pass back. Happy Blur's Day, Cyanide. Oh, right, this is double X, right? All right, hold on, folks. I'm gonna do it again. Two, three, four, five, six. So we can Turntimber Symbiosis next turn. I think we're just gaining 3, right? I assume they're gonna double block here. Wow, no blocks. Huh. I left my snakes in my deck, right? When we boarded. Making more blockers would be better. No, can you explain why you think making more blockers is better? I don't know what cards my opponent's deck plays. Can you help me understand why you think I made a mistake? I mean, all of our plays are bad against Cleave. Blocking something gains us more than 3 life, does it? Blocking this gives me more than 3 life? How's your math work out on that one? That doesn't seem to be the case on my quick calculation. Gains me 2. Not having second black here is rough. Or unfortunately did. I had things to block their 5 power units. So the reason why I didn't make more blockers was because blockers are really bad against Embercleave, whereas gaining life is much better. I'm happy with how I boarded. Had our mana be a little bit awkward that game. The fact that we couldn't play Binding of the Old Gods on 3 was rough. I think I need to get one more black source into the mana base. No, we've only played Sultai so far today. We're gonna play 1 or 2 more with this, and then we're gonna change gears to something else. I think we're gonna play red-black first, though. Well, Disdain seems fine. Not amazing, but fine. I posted not red black Titan. It's a red black Rankle draw 2 deck. I posted a deck list on Twitter last night. I've played 4 to 8 hours of Magic every day for the last 5 days. It's been very reasonable. If Magic wasn't reasonable, I wouldn't be playing it. Is the TLDR. Depends on if they have their intervention, right? If they have the red intervention again here to kill this, we're in a lot of trouble. But if they don't have a way to kill this, we're gonna be in a great spot. Fetch up a second blue and a snow mana here. To Spins, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel this morning. Honestly, what's better, drawing a card or making a 3/3 on this board state? The fact that we have Wilt available to us makes the potential for a 3/3 yeah, 3/3s help us end the game, too. Oh, they have Frostbite. Yeah, that's totally what's about to happen. They're gonna kill us before it gets to do anything. Go. Do we have to attack? Ha! The mana from this is gonna let them boost this. Or cleave us. I think I gotta look for a Heartless Act to kill this. Might be too little too late. Got 2 here, they've got 2 here, they've got another Frostbite. That'll do big. Do they have third Frostbite? Fourth Frostbite? They do not. Alright, so you're saying there's a chance. The Elder Gargaroth, chat. It slices, it dices, it gains, it draws, it makes some friends. Technically winning the race with this, but yeah, the fact that our opponent's only drawn 5 lands and 18 cards, I guess 6 technically if you count Shatter Skull Smashing. Been exactly the right amount. Excuse me. There's only a 6 mana 2/2. Thank you very much. Feels bad, man. Isn't that exactly how you play Mono Red? That's true. That's true. Mono Red is very, very good. Never draw lands past exactly the ones you need. Ugh. They weren't really like they were like had like some kind of aggressive stuff going on, but they were a little bit more mid-rangey, right? They're a little bit more mid-rangey. I don't know. I'm gonna be done with this one. I don't know. At a certain point, if all of your games feel like bad luck, your deck's probably just bad. I don't know. We had a ton of like 1 and 2 percenters in there. Like games where we like kept 2 landers and cycled and like missed on 34 mana sources for multiple turns and shit like that. I don't know. I was gonna. We might play this one again later this week. I like Graven Lore. We might also just try other Graven Lore decks though. I think I want to be casting this card.